India, there's been enormous, in the yogic systems, there's enormous focus on the pineal gland, you know. There is a whole system of yoga to activate the pineal gland. If you activate this and if it generates sufficient amount of secretion, you will be ecstatic every moment of your life. Simply every cell in your body will be bursting all the time.
In the yogic traditions, this sweetness is referred to as amrita or the ambrosia or the elixir of life.
One drop, if it comes into the system, suddenly the whole system just cools down, the whole system is lubricated, functions at ease. The desperation in the system is gone. The desperation in the mind is gone.
So yogic traditions have spoken for thousands of years about a mysterious inner nectar called the amrita, a substance said to create deep states of bliss and clarity. But what if this ancient idea is pointing to something very real inside our brain? A tiny structure called the pineal gland. Modern neuroscience knows it mainly for one job, which is regulating the melatonin, the hormone that controls our sleep cycles and the biological rhythms. But some traditions believe it may do something far more profound.
There is something called as a pineal gland. Various aspects of yoga or sadhana of yoga is to move it little down, south, it's called, moving it south. This is the symbolism of Shiva turning south because his third eye moved south. What was up here came down between the two eyes. The moment it came here, he saw things that nobody had ever seen.
In yogic symbolism, Shiva's third eye represents higher dimensions of perception. What's fascinating is that the yogic systems place this third eye at a point between the eyebrows, which maps surprisingly close to the location of the pineal gland deep inside the brain. Now, blindly believing ancient mythology has never been my thing, but dismissing knowledge that survived for thousands of years is also very tough. So the real question becomes, what exactly is happening in this tiny gland?
So the pineal gland is at the highest level of secretion in the last quarter of the night. So we want to make use of this. So anywhere between 3:30 to 6 or 5:30 or whatever the time the sunrise happens is considered Brahma Muhurtam because your pineal gland is at its highest level of secretion. That means you can stabilize. In modern medicine, it is seen as a mood stabilizer. Well, I've been talking about bringing yourself to ease. Bringing yourself to ease means that you are not a fluctuation, you are at ease. This is naturally happening at a certain time. At that time, people want to sit up and do their spiritual processes so that they get the best benefit. So that is labeled as Brahma Muhurtam or the time of the creator. Or you can look at it this way, it is a time when you can create yourself. You can make yourself the way you want yourself to be. So you become the Brahman in the morning so that you will make yourself the way you want yourself to be. So
now some medical researchers and doctors have come up with this very interesting theory. They suggest that certain intense breathing practices may push the cerebrospinal fluid upwards through the spine, creating pressure changes in the brain. And that pressure may stimulate the pineal gland. Now, the pineal gland is also known to contain some microscopic crystal structures. And in theory, these crystal structures respond to pressure or electrical changes in the brain, almost like tiny biological sensors. Some researchers speculate that stimulating the pineal gland might influence powerful neurochemicals in the brain. Chemicals that could produce a deeply different state of perception. Though much of this is still being explored, but it's really interesting and fascinating, isn't it? So now we have three very different perspectives pointing to the same mysterious part of the brain. Yogis call it the third eye. Scientists call it the pineal gland. And meditation researchers are beginning to explore how it might influence human consciousness. But here's something even more curious. In many adults, the pineal gland gradually calcifies with age. Tiny calcium deposits slowly accumulate inside it, and some scientists believe this may reduce its activity over time, which raises a fascinating possibility. What if the ancient idea of the third eye closing isn't just symbolic? Maybe the third eye isn't mystical at all. Maybe it's simply a part of the brain we still fully don't understand. So, what do you think? Did ancient yogis discover something about the brain thousands of years before modern science did? Or are we just seeing patterns where none exist? Let's go on this inward journey together. Let's spectre with Ekta. Until next time, bye-bye. Spectre with Ekta.